Now.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Christian, and my business is CJPixel. I'm a web developer and digital marketing consultant who specializes in WordPress and marketing automations. So I like to work with small and medium-sized businesses by helping them transform their ideas into digital success. So amidst all of the recent developments in technology, I thought it'd be beneficial to discuss what the future of tech means for your business. And I'm going to look at this through a digital marketing lens. So, what are the most significant technological changes for SMEs? So, there have been some seriously groundbreaking developments in tech recently, and it's getting increasingly difficult to keep up with all of the progress. So, I could mention advances in quantum computing, blockchain technology, what's called like the Internet of Things, but I don't think that's currently as relevant to SMEs. So today, I just want to touch on generative AI as it's becoming essential for SMEs, offering scalable solutions for various business processes. But the rest of these technological advancements I've got on this slide are enabling SMEs to improve efficiency, enhance customer experiences, and compete more effectively in an increasingly digital marketplace. But like I say, I'm just going to focus on AI today. Um, so whether you love to hate it or you hate to love it, or even feel indifferent to it, AI is here to stay. And it's changing everything to do with marketing. AI is transforming the customer experience by providing personalized interactions, instant support, and seamless service. So we're currently still in a transitory window where we can embrace this change before being left behind. So I've listed out three big ways that AI is being adopted by businesses around the world. So we've got personalized marketing automation. It's enabling SMEs to deliver personalized content and recommendations to their customers, giving the ability to scale outreach at a very low cost. We've got AI powered predictive analytics, which is a way that you can use AI to preemptively predict issues with your products and services. It can help us better prepare to situations and also gather and structure research and analysis in a digestible way. And then we've got AI chatbots, which are a way SMEs are able to offer low cost 24/7 customer support for minor issues. It also enables engaging with visitors when they visit your website, and it can help capture lead details, which can then go into your customer relationship manager database after. And AI agents, they have a bit more autonomy. You can think of them as like a digital employee who will carry out the tasks you have designated them. So, for example, you could have an AI agent that will schedule your meetings and appointments, or a blog agent that will help you create articles. I actually do have a demo for one that I'm kind of building at the moment, but I'm not sure if we're going to have time for this at the end. But if we do, I can quickly kind of give you an example of a blog agent. Okay, so I've put together hold on, I'm just trying to see all of you guys because I'm going to do a little quiz. So I want to see hands for the next few slides, if that's okay. So yeah, put a little quiz together to distinguish, to find out how indistinguishable AI generated content is. So one of these photos is AI and the other one's genuine. So just give you a moment to look at it. But yeah, so I'd like to see a show of hands who thinks the photo on the left is AI. Okay, and who thinks the photo on the right is AI?
Hey.
Okay, yeah, the photo on the right is AI. And then I think this one might be a bit more obvious, but hands up for the one on the left being AI.
Yeah.
And then hands up for the photo on the right. Okay, for this one, the photo on the right was AI, which was a bit more divided than that one. And then the last photo, hands up for the one on the left being AI. And hands up for the photo on the right. So it's very divided again, and it's actually the photo on the left that's AI. So I feel like if that's showing us anything, it's how difficult it is sometimes to gauge, and we've all got a different opinion of what might be AI generated content and what's like genuine human content. We've got one last kind of one for kind of hands, and that's I've got 4 quotes here by 3 of them are from notable famous figures of the history, and one of them is just a completely made up inspirational quote by AI. So the first one, it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. The one that I'll refer to as the second one is the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Third, every challenge is a seed for growth and every failure is a step towards success. And fourth, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So hands up if you think the first one that I read, top left, is AI generated. Okay, second one, top right. And then third one, bottom left. And then last one, the bottom right. Okay, it was actually the third one, the bottom left, that was AI generated as well. So it is like annoyingly difficult to try and distinguish between these things as well. But I feel like there's a lesson in there, which hopefully I'll convey in the next slide. Just try and move this box out of the way. Okay. But first, back to the question at hand. What does the future of tech mean for your business? I've boiled it down to these 3 things. One, you can do a lot more with a lot less. Now you can offer 24/7 customer support without even needing staff. You can engage with customers autonomously as they visit your website and other platforms. Next, I've got small businesses with robust data systems will outperform their peers. That's my prediction because if you think about it, the biggest companies in the world are data companies. And if this tells me anything, it's that when data is used properly, it could well be one of the most valuable things on the planet. And it all comes down to how you use it at the end of the day. So I do think that if you've got a really intelligent kind of system that's kind of managing your leads, how people are coming in, how you're capturing people's details, how you're delivering a really good customer service, then those data systems can really help elevate your business. But lastly, I've got this box as a different colored box because I think it's the most significant. And this comes back to what I was hoping the quiz would show, which I think it does. That's that human-centered marketing and storytelling is going to become more important than ever. Because if you think about it, disinformation and misinformation is becoming rampant. And AI generated content is only going to exacerbate that. Everyone's just creating new blog articles every day that's all just created by AI. Half of them are news articles come out that are created by AI. And a lot of the time, people aren't even doing their fact checks or final edits. So to me, that means that trust amongst the consumers is going to diminish. And how do we build trust in the first place? It's by providing genuine content. It's behind the scenes footage. It's video customer testimonials and non-staged organic videos. Because at the end of the day, we have a soul, but AI doesn't. So it might seem cheesy, but we need to use that soul to relate to others. So on that note, I thought it would only be right to share a bit more about myself. I'm a 33-year-old Yorkshireman from Sheffield who loves adventure and travel. I could well be the only Muslim called Christian that you'll ever meet. On my 30th birthday, I boarded down a volcano in Nicaragua at 74 kilometers an hour, which is shown in the picture in the top right. That was just before my wife, who's with me in that photo, she hit 69 kilometers an hour and just after wiped out and started rolling down. It was one of the scariest moments, but thank God she was okay in the end. But we got that on video as well if anyone wanted to see that. But I've visited 45 countries and seen 4 out of the 7 new wonders of the world. And these pictures show some of the favorite places that I've been: Machu Picchu, Guatemala, Nicaragua, and the Galapagos. Over the past 5 years of self-employment, my products and services has expanded to best support my clients, and this will continue to expand as technology evolves along with my clients' needs. So I've consolidated my services into these four categories: web development, marketing automations, consultancy, and content creation, although they are not only limited to this area. So that's me in a nutshell. I hope you found this presentation useful or at least interesting. And yeah, I'll leave it there and would love to answer any questions that you might have.
Super. Brilliant, Christian. That was absolutely brilliant. Can we stop sharing the screen and we'll see if it's got questions?
Oh, sorry. So
It's all right.
Oh, it's up here. Right?
It's all right. We'll let you. Okay. Any questions for Christian? Christian, I was going to say one thing. I noticed that on the very first page of your presentation, you had a colourful CJPixel. Okay, I think that should be your new trademark. I thought it looked absolutely brilliant.
Oh, you liked it? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I just didn't know you said something. Everything was great, but when you see something, I went straight to that and I thought, wow. So, yeah.
Oh no, cheers. No, that's my little horizontal one, the one in the top left of my
with a little
screen.
colour through it, going, yeah.
That's like the square one.
Yeah. Super. Now I've said my comment. Any comments then, Andrew?
I've got loads of comments, but maybe it's just because I'm naive at these things. I love the idea of automation to a degree, but at the same time, I think your very final thing was brilliant in the sense of it is about real people and the real humans. I get really frustrated when things just have to be automated, and it's almost like, why are you automating this when it doesn't need to be? But I understand also that particularly small businesses, you can't deal with everything as quickly as one you would like to. And it does worry me when I ask a question on any website or whatever, and you get an automatic reaction. It's like, yeah, but you didn't listen to my question. And that to me is so frustrating. It's like, I'll give an example of a car parking ticket, for example, and you appeal against it, and you just get a standard letter reply. It's as if we're not listening to your appeal, whatever. And I always, when I do something like that, I'll put a comment on it and say, oh, by the way, can you also put this in your reply to me? So when they don't give me that reply or that answer, I know they've just done the standard letter. They're not really reading the whole thing and answering my questions. It's what I call being a politician, because they don't always, very rarely answer your question. So my question, now that I've given you a few bits and pieces about it, is how can you actually have automation that will say, okay, stop, because I need somebody to deal with this, rather than I'm going to give the automated reply? Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. And it depends what kind of automation we're talking about. But if we're talking about, say, a chatbot, because I feel like that's kind of the most relevant to this point, is like, if you, when you create in a chatbot, you make what's called like the system prompt. And that's kind of like your instruction manual to your kind of chatbot in the first place. And if you think about like a movie director, it's as if you're a director to your kind of chatbot. So it kind of starts with you're a customer response agent, and while you can make a few jokes here and there, you keep it professional and you deliver this kind of service. Anything outside of these parameters, I want you to log a ticket, and I want you to report that to higher up, and then take their email address and get a response. So in that sense, that's where you can set the restraints of like, right, that's how far the automation is going to go. If it needs a customer if it needs a human response, then they'll get logged, it'll get put in a queue, and they'll promptly get responded back to. And so that's how you can kind of manage it. But just on your points before as well, like, I completely agree. And I feel like the main problem is humans, and like we've just got this typical propensity of like, we want to do things quicker, we want things to be done easier. And all that means is once we've found out a way where we can do more with less, we're just looking at the next thing of what we can do more with less. And now we're like spinning all these crazy amounts of plates, and nobody's got a second to breathe. And like, just the nature of like, I don't know, like capitalism in general, it's always like make more, make more, make more. And I feel like it's a bit hamster wheel, and kind of gets a bit kind of, how far are we going to go before things, I don't know. Anyway, this is a bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
Super.
No, but when it does work, I think it can be great as long as you're giving the right information. It's when you're wasting time and taking all the wrong that is so frustrating. But no, thank you. And a very good presentation too. Thank you.
Super.
Thanks,
Ian.
Yes, thank you, Christian. That was insightful. I guess just as a small business and not using a lot of AI at the moment, what would you suggest are small steps, productive steps that the business could start to use to begin this? Because I don't doubt that it is helpful for a small business.
For me, and I'm kind of just going to talk about tech in general, not just AI for this bit, because I feel like for you in that situation, maybe the best situation for an SME is if you're not using a CRM, look at using a CRM first and stuff, because that's like, you know, how you manage leads and your customers and your experience, and you can put in reminders to keep in touch, because it's all about customer service at the end of the day for a lot of small businesses, isn't it? Like, that's why they don't choose like the big boys in some things, and people like using small independent businesses for the customer service and stuff. So, you know, to truly excel at that, I think you need like a really well managed CRM, because, you know, then you can build up notes and a profile about each person, and you can get to know them personally. You know, once you find out someone's date of birth, you could add a section for that in your kind of CRM, and then, you know, you've put in a reminder, and then you know,
Send them a birthday card.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So,
there's an idea.
you know, or, you know, if they've got like a dog or a cat, and then you get the name and stuff, you know, if you've got that in your CRM, and then before you have the meeting, you know, you just quickly look over your notes of that person, then, you know, you're repainting that picture every time, and it's not disingenuous. You're interested in knowing these people, but there's so many different people that you're trying to connect with and stuff as a small business in a lot of situations that it's hard to remember, you know, who's who. You might not have spoken to someone for 3 months, and like, you had a really good chat, but now you can't remember that the dog's called Millie, and you know, it was having an operation in June or something. So, you know, you have the meeting, and then you can say, oh God, how did that go? Like, and it's really meaningful to people.
Brilliant.
Sorry, so that didn't really answer what you meant about AI, but if I feel like that's like a better first step to look than like necessarily AI. But if you've got a CRM, then it depends more on your industry and stuff.
Super. Any other questions? Jonathan, have you got your hand up, or is that just me? Oh no, it's me. It's all right. It's my thing. I just happened to be on top of you. Mariella.
Well, yeah, it's more observation than question, because my parallel life, I teach AI, and when I go out of here, I will be teaching how to build what Christian was saying. But it's very important, as Christian said, that we embrace AI before we get kicked out by AI, and will not be kicked out because they will take our job. It will be kicked out because we don't know how to use it. Because it's like not being able to use a computer nowadays. If people didn't learn to use a computer, we wouldn't be here. And regarding Andrew, absolutely, but I totally agree with that with you, because even if I'm quite a technical person, I sometimes get so frustrated. But it all depends on how AI is used and how it's programmed. And on the other hand, I often get very frustrated with people that think like a machine. So you go there and they fill a form, and you tell them something and they don't respond, and they fill. So sometimes I get so annoyed that I hope AI will get your job. But it's very important. Your presentation was brilliant, and I'll see you later.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Thank you. I've even found that some people now speak to me as if I'm a AI prompt. Some of my outreach, and it's terrible. And they're just like, give more detail, and I'm like, ChatGPT.
Any other questions for Christian?
I know when me and Christian spoke, John, Christian potentially had like a live demo to go through. I'm guessing you probably didn't get that at the moment, mate, but it'd be good if we could just maybe bring that into the next presentation, because it did sound really interesting when we had that one-to-one. So it'd be good to share that with the group at a later point.
No, thank you. I looked at the time just when I finished it. It was like 11.5 minutes, and I thought, the demo could be like maybe like 3 minutes or something. But it was just to show.
Well, we might do that. We might do that after breakout rooms. I have it ready. We might have a quick breakout after breakout rooms. All right.
Do it instead of one of the breakouts.
Yeah. Okay. So, any other questions? I can stop recording.